Have you ever felt like someone had your back, even though there was no one around? Ever wondered if that gut feeling that made you take a different turn was just a coincidence? The truth is, a lot of people spend their whole lives waiting for answers from above, without realizing that heaven's already trying to talk, just in its own way. Here's something that might surprise you. You don't need to be some enlightened person, a medium or super religious to connect with your guardian angel. In fact, the simpler your approach, the stronger the response. Most folks think you need a special ritual, complete silence, or some kind of spiritual gift to connect with the spiritual world. That's where the mistake is. God, in his wisdom, built bridges, not mazes. And guardian angels are one of those bridges. They're right there around us, just waiting for a little opening to step in. But if you don't know how to open that channel, you'll keep thinking it's all just luck, when really, it's divine direction being ignored because of lack of. It's wild how so many people go their whole lives not even realizing they've never been truly alone. Quietly, away from the physical eye, there's a spiritual being assigned just for you. This angel doesn't sleep, doesn't get distracted, and knows your story better than you do. They're there when you wake up feeling drained, when you cry silently, or when you feel that random peace after a prayer. But like any good guardian, they follow one big rule: your free will. That means most of the time, they only act when you invite them in. One simple request is enough. Angels don't care about fancy words. They respond to what's in your heart. Some people talk to them in a quick prayer while driving. Others just have a heart-to-heart before bed. What matters is opening that line of connection. That's when your spirituality strengthens and you start seeing how God is quietly moving behind the scenes. Now, of course, there are exceptions. When things get serious, real danger kind of serious, these beings of light step in without waiting. It's that sudden break that saves you from a crash, that instinct that stops you from going out, or that strange force that makes you change direction last minute. And no, you don't need to have a religion for this to happen. It's God working through his messengers, even if you don't notice. Because at the end of the day, spirituality is all about awareness, seeing the invisible show up in the middle of the ordinary. And the stronger this bond gets, the more positivity takes over your day-to-day life. The strength that comes from this kind of connection. It's like an invisible shield. Slowly, you realize you don't have to carry everything alone anymore. The world around you might stay the same, but the way you face it, that changes everything. And that shift, which starts with a whisper from the spirit world, opens the door to something even deeper, something that proves angels aren't tied to any one religion. It's amazing when you think about it. Angels aren't limited to what we were taught in religious stories. They don't have bodies, a mailing address, or spiritual citizenship. They're out there, moving through dimensions, showing up wherever they're needed. And the best part? They don't pick favorites based on labels, churches, or belief systems. If the heart calls with faith, they answer. That's divine love. That's God showing us spirituality goes way beyond doctrine. These beings don't follow the rules of physics like we do. They don't need a plane ticket to be with someone in Japan and someone else in rural Brazil at the same time. It's like they operate on a higher frequency where time and space don't get in the way of purpose. Ever heard someone say, "It felt like someone was holding me"? Yeah, chances are, someone was. A spiritual someone. It happens to skeptics, believers, Buddhists, Christians. Heaven doesn't draw lines when there's sincerity. Now, yeah, some people are still gonna doubt all this, and that's totally fine. Our minds are wired to only believe what we can see. But that's where awareness comes in. When you allow yourself to experience the invisible, it starts to reveal itself. I've heard some incredible stories. Nurses feeling invisible hands during a complicated birth, truck drivers being guided through a storm. None of it makes sense logically, but it clicks with the heart. Even Jesus said, "Blessed are those who haven't seen and yet believe." And the more we get that these angels are universal, the more we see that spirituality is this wide open space full of possibility. Doesn't matter what church you go to, or if you don't go to one at all. If you seek God sincerely, help shows up. And these spiritual messengers keep showing up, ready to take on specific missions. And yep, those missions vary a lot depending on the type of angel. Not every angel does the same thing, and that's one of the coolest things about God's design. There's a real structure in the spiritual world, and each angel's got a unique role. Guardian angels, for example, are the closest to us personally. They've been with us from our first breath to our last. They know our fears, our falls, and even our silent prayers. They're always there, ready to offer strength, guidance, and that unexplainable peace you just feel. But when the mission's bigger, that's when the archangels step in, like Michael, the spiritual warrior, and Gabriel, the messenger. Michael is like that general who fights for us during spiritual battles. Gabriel, on the other hand, is all about communication. When an answer needs to reach you, or a dream carries meaning, he's the one who brings it. You can even make a habit of calling them by name, asking for exactly what you need. It builds your faith and trains your awareness to their active presence. And besides the famous ones, there are tons of other angels whose names we don't even know. Doesn't make them any less powerful. Some are connected to healing. Call on them when you're sick or anxious. Others look after travelers, protect kids, influence tough decisions, or even clear out heavy energies. And if you think you need a fancy ritual to talk to them, forget it. A sincere request is all it takes to activate powerful help. The key is realizing you're not in this journey alone. God, in His wisdom, set up the spiritual realm in a way that works. There's order, there's purpose. Spirituality is like an invisible army fighting for you, and Jesus is the supreme commander. Knowing that changes how you pray, how you decide, and how you face your daily struggles. And if you want to go deeper in this connection, there are super practical ways to talk to your guardian angel. Talking to your guardian angel doesn't have to be mystical, weird, or something only special people do. It's actually simple, natural, and deeply spiritual. Start by treating your angel like a close friend. Talk to them when you wake up, when you leave the house, before making decisions. A simple example, instead of just complaining about a problem, say, "Help me see what I'm missing." That kind of awareness changes everything. And God honors that kind of connection. Another powerful way is purposeful meditation. No need for incense or Tibetan bells unless that's your thing. Just close your eyes, take a deep breath, focus on your heart, and imagine a soft light surrounding you. It calms the mind and raises your frequency, creating space for the spiritual to show up. Over time, your intuition sharpens, peace grows, and signs start showing up. That's when divine strength begins to speak louder. Speaking of signs, ask for them. A classic one? Ask to see a white feather, repeating numbers, or even smell something sweet out of nowhere. Sound silly? Try it. One guy said he asked for a sign, and a butterfly landed right on his steering wheel. And it was a cloudy day. Coincidence? Maybe. But when it keeps happening, awareness wakes up. And when your spirituality wakes up, positivity starts running the show in a light, life-changing way. And finally, trust your gut. That little voice that says, go this way, not that one. It's a strong channel of communication. The more you listen, the stronger it gets, like a spiritual muscle. Start small. Call that person. Take a different route. Wait a minute before acting, and just watch what happens. God speaks through His angels, but it takes practice and steady trust to pick up on it. And the more you practice, the more the miracles start to show up. Building a real connection with angels takes the same stuff as any deep relationship: time, trust, and consistency. No use talking to them once and ghosting for weeks. Just like you don't build a strong friendship from one chat, you don't build spiritual intimacy overnight. But the more you show up, the more you'll see they do too, sometimes subtly, other times with signs so clear it's impossible to ignore. God works with precision when He sees a sincere effort. That steady practice is like tuning an instrument. At first, it may feel like nothing's happening, but stick with it. Over time, your heart syncs with the unseen, your intuition sharpens, and even your thoughts begin to shift. You start feeling more grateful, stronger in hard times, more aware of what really matters. Spirituality doesn't force itself. It reveals itself to those who keep showing up in faith. And that's exactly when miracles become part of your routine. I've heard from people who prayed every day for their angel to protect a loved one, and later found out their kid narrowly escaped an accident. Or the woman who asked for guidance before leaving the house, and at the last minute changed her route without knowing why, and realized later she avoided something serious. Coincidence? Maybe. But when you live under divine guidance, chance starts to take a back seat. This journey isn't about being perfect. It's about developing spiritual sensitivity. The more you realize something bigger is watching over you, the more you open up to living in partnership with heaven. And that partnership brings blessings no one can take away, because they come straight from the source. And if you've read this far with that thirst to learn, then you're more than ready to find out why some spiritual habits might actually block your fasting instead of attracting God. So now that you know how to talk to your guardian angel, what's still holding you back from starting today? You gonna keep waiting for big dramatic signs when the little miracles are already happening all around you? Or are you ready to take that step of faith and finally start talking to the one God placed by your side since your very first breath? Think about it. What if the answer you've been waiting for is just one word away from showing up? What if the change you've been praying for only comes when you start rebuilding that spiritual bond you forgot in the middle of your busy life? The choice is yours, it always was, but now you've got the knowledge, the awareness, and the direction. So, what are you going to do with it? Drop a comment if you've ever had an experience with your guardian angel, or if you're planning to start this practice today. Let's share our stories. You never know who might be touched by your words. And of course, if this spoke to your heart in any way, hit that subscribe button and turn on the bell, because there's a lot more coming your way about spirituality, inner strength, and the powerful presence of God.